Welcome back, Joe here, another total battle video. In today's video, we are going to take a look at troop stacking and make it as easy as possible. There are a lot of tools out there. They get complicated, they get in-depth, but we are going to use Kai's troop stacking calculator, make it as simple as possible. I have never used it before, so we are going to compare it to just a regular run that I would do and see how much better it is with troop stacking. So we're going to do a comparison of what I would normally do if I'm just jumping into the game, putting monsters, putting my troops together, and just going out on a run. Then we're going to do another run with what Kai's troop stacking calculator suggests, and we're going to compare the two. So let's jump into it now. Before we get too far into the video, I want to give a shout out to one of the clans that we attacked, fought against, battled during the last Olympics, Glorand 5 of ISB. We had made a deal that portals wouldn't be attacked. The ISB clan attacked two of my portals, so when I saw one of their portals, I attacked it, and I had no clue that the replenishment of silver did not apply when you attack portals. And I got destroyed attacking Glorand's portal. We ended up exchanging quite a few messages back and forth. So we are going to make Glorand 5 of ISB. Glorand, you are now famous as promised. Good job, good battle. There you are, my friend, Glorand 5. Now we're going to do this two ways. We are going to attack the Fenrir monster. Just a normal attack. What I would do if I wasn't making a video and just coming in to play the game. First thing I would do is take a look and see how dead the squad is. Let's see if we can find any real quick that are a little further along. Here's the one that looks like it's currently being attacked. It's a little bit weaker than the rest. I'm going to assume that the troop stacking calculator is going to be way better because I never try to maximize what I'm doing when I go into battle here. I just use a little bit of doubling. I don't try to maximize my monsters because I don't want to pay the extremely high cost to revive them all. So I wouldn't even normally double these, but to be fair and get an equal assessment, I'm just going to use a little doubling rule here. We're going to go with 100, 200. Now it's going to give us the most optimal stack when we get through here, I believe. So let's go through, do 1,000, 2,000, 2,000, because that's how into it I get when I'm just running through. So now we'll take a look. They still have 4 troop types. So I'm going to slow roll through here, and then I'll speed it up when we get close and be back for the attack. And when we got in for the attack, there's 309,000. So yeah, what is 715 million? I can't even read that. Anyway, 1.22 billion valor, 330 million meat. Now, if that is enough to up my dragon, I'm not going to deal with that right now. 2.65 billion XP. Let's take a look at the detail really quick. About 138 through there. Okay, so now I am going to revive my troops, and then we're going to see what the troop stacking calculator has in store for us. Kai's calculator. Kai calculator. KAIKAIJU.com. I was in contact with Kai before putting this video together to make sure it was okay. I don't know which one's better for reading, but I'll stick with the default black here. I previewed this briefly earlier. I haven't hit any of the move forward buttons, but let's take a look at real quick. And there is methods to contact Kai on Discord and email if you would like to contact and ask more questions. He's in HOD Clan in Kingdom 227, and here's his name, Kaimono, in Kingdom K300. If you would like to talk with him or him or her, I'm not sure. I probably should have asked when I was in contact with Kai, but you can buy a coffee to help the hosting and development costs for Kai. So the first step in the guide, unit selection. All right, you're going to set up your unit types that you'd like to use, monsters, mercenaries, everything you have available. So I clicked on that I have epic monster hunters at the moment. We're not doing the Arachne Swarm. We want to use optimized sub-tier tacking for guardsmen and specialists. This forces your losses in a specific order within each tier. So we know that. So currently I am at G6. We have that marked off. S5 for specialists. Mercenaries, we have the epic monster hunter. And then monsters, we currently have trained all 6, all 5, and all of 4. Did I have 3 in there as well? We'll have to look at that real quick before we send them on. I'll just ignore that. Here we go. So before we hit anything, so that's, we're not going to send any siege engines. So army size limits. We can set this optional, but trained troops, they require leadership, mercenaries authority, and then monsters dominance. You can find your limits on the troop selection screen, so we'll take a look at that. We're going to select Cleopatra for the attack. We'll put our leadership in here. I'm assuming it'll update this for us, then we can use the base count, smallest, strongest stacks. Normal troops, usually guardmen, all their squad sizes will be calculated using this as a basis. Our current reference is Battle Griffin 6. Let's see if we change this, if it updates. There we go, it updates G5 as the basis. So let's get that back up to G6. Do I want to select all of them? All right, so yeah, we're going to use 6, 5s, and 4s. Let's go take a look back real quick, and we'll check which guardsmen we have trained, which specialist levels we have trained, so we get the right boxes checked here, and we'll check what monsters I currently have trained to make sure we get the right ones clicked there for an accurate stacking. We do have 3 of the level 3s, so let's get over to that real quick. And Battle Boar. We got G5s. I think we just have S5s, correct? Yeah. Level 4 guardsman. I only have the rider. But I think we have all of those correct now. Okay, so if we go down here, let's read this again. Train troops acquire the leadership. All right, let's click on this troop selection screen. Oh, it's just showing us where we can find it. So if you don't know, if you go to your screen, that's where you'll find your leadership, authority, and dominance, the max numbers that you can take. So let's go back to ours and check it out. So we're at 43,180 for leadership. And it doesn't overwrite that 0, so let's get rid of that. Now authority, 20,130. And then dominance, 10,164. Now I'm interested here because it doesn't have a spot to put how many of each troop I currently have trained. I wonder what it's going to do to fit this in. So let's look at base count. This is the size of your smallest, strongest stack of normal troops. All other squad sizes will be calculated using this as a basis, optimized so that your best troops survive as long as possible. Current reference unit is Battle Griffin 6. The Find It For Me button is experimental. It would try to find the best, biggest base count number for you based on available leadership. All right. I'm not exactly sure what this will do here, so let's click on that. What is it telling me? There's an error. We're going to have to lower this. And I'm not sure why yet, so we'll stay tuned. All right, once your setting has been provided, use the Create Battle Plan button to generate a report and view the exact number of troops to take on your march. Report can be further refined if you want to provide additional information below. All right, so now we can go to tempo level. This optional input will help you better estimate the revival cost for your army. All right, let's go all in on this. Let's look at our level here, because I don't know it off the top of my head. It's like 30, I think. 31. All right, we're at level 31. Enemy stacks. Specify how many stacks. All right, there are 4 in the Fenrir squad. Specialist adjustment. You typically want specialists to be killed before guardsmen because guardsmen are stronger against monsters. Choose how many specialists you'd like to add to each stack so they get targeted and killed first. Okay, so it wants a minimum amount, so we'll do 10. We don't have any health bonuses because we're taking Cleo. We're not doing anything with siege engines. This has the multiplier. Now, this is the way that I usually do it. I usually do 2 times, and there's a simple doubling unit calculator. This is going to use a 1.9. Say if I don't have a profile, you can just create different profiles for each captain and just upload that. So that will work out nice. So let's see here. Let's go to this Create Battle Plan now and see what happens. That was instantaneous, but now what does it mean? Power score 11.9, strength, leadership. About a 63,000 is going to be our cost. I'm going to get 121 to 136 hits in. What did I get last time? Just as a real quick view. 138. That's the total battle. So this is 152 to 167. So we can read it through here. We can export it. Our monster hunters. Our health strength. 5, 5, 6, 7. All right. And all the way through, which we don't have archers for or spearmen for. I am going to train archers really quick. Okay, so we're going to set up an attack. I'm sorry for the clunky video. We're just started. Never used this before, so we'll do the 173. So then we need the Ruby Golem. We want 5. We want 5 Jungle Destroyers. We want 6 Crystal Dragons. We want 7 Troll Riders. So now we get into the 18. The Fearsome Manticore wants 19. So I'll plug all these in. We got 20 here. The Flaming Centaur. I have enough Stone Gargoyles. I'm going to have to train them. Got to train more Emerald Dragons. Train more Battle Boars. So hold on. Sit tight. I'm going to train these guys. So now, Stone Gargoyle, 176. Emerald Dragons, 204. And the Battle Boar, 236. All right, now we're getting down to the Griffins. 50. 95. There's that 1.9 rule instead of using the 2 times. 721. Now here's the interesting part. We're taking a lot more dominance, a lot more of our monsters, and a lot fewer leadership points. I'm not sure why that is. When we looked through where our total hits are going to be higher, the total of our hits are going to be higher as well. We're going to have a higher revival cost than what I did last time, but we're looking at our overall points and see how it's going to play out. We also added these archer and spearman level 4, which we did not bring on our attack. Now remember, and this is all going off of our reference, which is the Battle Griffins 6. So remember, we upped this. Every time we increased this, it ups the leadership and then the dominance. So it's having the effect on the entire program. So we could have done 52. I went with the round number of 50. Let's see how it plays out. Let's go on our first attack, and we will compare it the best we can to the last attack that was just thrown together. We are set. Now we are going to start our march. Well, I leveled up Cleopatra. For reference, let's see if we can remember any of this stuff. We have 2.65 billion XP from our initial attack, 330 million meat, 1.22 billion valor, and then all these other fragments. We'll keep track of the army fragments. Our epic monster hunters were destroyed first. 138. I actually forgot to change the amount of the hunters. I never would have sent that many if I would have been paying better attention. All right, so we had 138 was the total. How does it compare? 1.29 billion valor. So we got 70,000 more, 1.22 versus a 1.29. Meat, 348 million meat. So 18 million more in meat. 2.79 billion XP. So we're talking 140 million more. And then the armor frags, 1.74 billion versus 1.65. So is it 90 million more roughly? Let's check the attacks. I guess we could have compared. Let's compare monster kills too. So that first level, we'll just do some rounding. Let's call it 245,000, 1,200, 1,700, 4,500. Total attack. We did strike first. It was still our epic monster hunters. We're number one in the attack, so that's not really what we want. So let's call that an error there. But we did lose our level 4 troops as expected. Our riders went first. Up here, a little surprised by that as they are stronger. Maybe it was because of that plus 10 I put on there. Maybe we should eliminate that to a 0. I was expecting these guys, right, would be ahead of the riders, with the riders being stronger. There's our specialist way down there, Mr. Vulture. Here comes all of our monsters. Still a huge number. We want all our monsters way down there. Total was 156. The estimates coming in where we'd get between 152 and 167 total hits. We had 156, so we were right in that range on the lower end of it. The revival cost 63,000. So we essentially were not far off. And this is what I've said before about stacking. You can spend a lot of time doing it, or you can just double everything and then figure it out as you go. There are other options we could play around with, and maybe we'll do it in another video with minimizing revival costs. And it looks like there's some other features on here, but a minimalistic troop stacking calculator. You can go through really quickly, verify what you're doing is correct, or just actually send in close to an optimal stack here. We probably could have lowered our our epic monster hunters, and sent in the 173 of them. We probably could have lowered that to 100, maybe 50, just to move them down in the rank to see what they did. But essentially what we did versus what the troop stacking calculator did, I had sent a lower dominance, essentially meaning less monsters, and I had maxed out or close to it on the leadership side. So it exchanged one for the other. We're going to have a higher cost because we're reviving monsters here, which I'm going to do because Immortal Essence is live. If it wasn't live, I would still revive my monsters and just kill off the other troops. But because Immortal Essence is active at the time of this video, I will revive so I can get that Sacred Essence Potion. So Kai's troop stacking calculator, pretty simple. You could play around with it, remove some of the different types of guardsmen and specialists if you want to bring more or less monsters. Maybe you don't want to bring monsters at all. Pretty simple though, just plug in your numbers. It edits this off based off of your reference point, so it's using the battle griffins, your guardsmen, my highest, strongest guardsmen troops, as the reference point instead of the mercenaries, and that's probably where that miss came in. No big deal. I'm not too worried about it, but just something to watch out for if you happen to use this. The link is there in the video. I'll put the link in the description of this video if you want to use Kai's calculator. You want to send Kai a cup of coffee to help support their efforts. That'll be right here once you go to the calculator itself. If you want to support me, hit this video with a like, leave a comment. Let me know what troop stacking tool you used. Have you used Kai's calculator before? What did I do incorrectly with it? What should I have done differently? Because again, this was my first time, so I apologize for the clunkiness of the video going through it. If you are brand new to Total Battle, I do have a short PDF available on Amazon, Kindle Direct Publishing. Check that out. That link will be in the description as well as the comments in the video. If you want to be a channel member, link is available. I'd appreciate it as always. Thanks for joining me. I am Joe, and I'll see you next time on Total Battle.